going on, everyone? I did the first summary for the first issue of The Last of Us, American Dreams, and got pretty positive reception, so I figured I'd do the next, actually the rest of the series in its entirety. So I'll go ahead and show you issue 2. First, I just want to show a few little things, though, for any of the collectors out there. This is a first print of issue number 1. If you are trying to collect them, obviously you'd want first prints. Check right here, where it says American Dreams. If that's red, that's a second print. So, look for the baby blue if you are trying to do a first print run of The Last of Us. Also to note, there was a variant cover, this one right here. And this was included only with the survival edition of the game. I had mine pre-ordered, and ironically it fell through because GameStop is horrible. The one time I actually use them, they fail. So, I actually had to buy that online, but it wasn't too pricey. But if you are going to collect them, I'd get them now before it turns into a series and The Last of Us takes off even more and gets more popular. The stuff might be worth some, might not, but if you want to run, I would definitely act. So that's your variant cover. And now I'm going to go ahead and show you issue number 2. So as you remember before, Ellie and Riley, they were not escaping, but they were just kind of sneaking out of the school to go check out some things and run around and just be kids, be curious, see what's around them since they're so cooped up in this quarantine zone. And as you see, they're running through here over the rooftops, and Riley's bringing Ellie to a mall. So they're gonna sneak in through this what do you call that? Kind of like a skylight, yeah, through a skylight of sorts. They start to talk a little bit here about Ellie's talking to Riley about future and things such as that. And, you know, Riley's kind of just razzing her up and back. But what she does disclose info-wise is that Riley's turning 16. And at 16, you more or less become a soldier in the quarantine zone. And like any 16-year-old, actually like any person, really, you wouldn't want that for your life. So she wants to escape. That's her plan. And the plan starts to come into action later in the episode. Here you see them going into the mall, and she sees, you know, things like a mannequin, things from the other life, things she only heard about. So like a kid, she's kind of replicating it there, and then they stumble upon this arcade. And in the arcade, she sees some game called Triple Phoenix, I think. I know the bubble's right there, but I can't really read it from where I'm at, but I believe it was called Triple Phoenix. And she's saying she only heard about this and what a great game, and Riley's giving her slack about it and saying that the real game is called The Turning, and you know, it's hardcore. It's a hardcore game. It's difficult. It's bloody. It's mature content. She's just being a kid, and then, you know, as she razzes her and they walk out, and Ellie really wishes she could play the game. She kind of looks back and just, you know, thinks back to what a great time and what a simple life that kids used to lead. You know, that life is really appealing, obviously, to someone in all this hardship. And she's just picturing it here, but then the reality sets in, and she really sees what happens. And she could kind of picture it, the plague, as it comes. And it's kind of an unsettling moment, you know. The frame is pretty powerful, too, so that's a good one. So they come upon whoever she knows, Riley's contact, and you know, she's telling her, hey, she's got someone for the old fart. She's got a little something for him, and she pulls out some whiskey and or some kind of alcohol. What was it? Well, anyway, you get the idea, and you know, he's all about that, you know. So he's asking what she needs in return, and she wants to teach Ellie how to ride a horse, because Ellie's never seen one before. So, you know, Ellie's all about it. She even loves how it smells, you know. And I believe in the issue somewhere, Riley says, you know, yeah, it's not like the livestock we have at our place. You know, this is a real horse here. You know, he's groomed and kept as best as possible. And now as Ellie starts to really, you know, become accustomed to it and get excited to ride it, some things start to come up. You know, they talk more about like what they want to do in the future, and you know, Riley really doesn't want to be a slave to the system, I believe she says. So you know, eventually now she lets Ellie go, and she says she'll be right back, and she sneaks into this tent, and she's looking for something. I think it's a book, or maybe we'll find out next issue. I couldn't really tell actually from the frame, but you see her drop it eventually. And then this guy, Ellie's talking to the guy and just saying, is this the kind of place that kids used to hang around? Like, what is this? And he really goes into detail and kind of gets all nostalgic on her, talking about how it was such an easy place, and this is what kids used to do and skip school, and everyone's done it, at the mall and hang out. And Ellie's just dumbfounded at what a simple life people used to live back in the day. So as that's going on, and she's kind of enjoying his nostalgia trip, and really just enjoying this horse, and kind of trying to get, I guess, through her mind, trying to live a different life, even just for that split second, and just to see what it was like, and I think she's trying to do like an escape in her mind, and just to see what it was like. So she's riding this horse and have a good time, and right as she's doing that, you hear this humongous bang, and they're wondering what it was. And now he's telling them to be safe and to get back to the zone, and this is for real, not to mess around. And meanwhile, Riley she's going to get excited here, because to her, this is her escape. This is her way to escape. And what it was is the Fireflies. And she's saying, come on, let's go. Let's go meet up with these Fireflies or use them as a way to escape out of this quarantine area and everything else. And Ellie just can't believe it, but she has no choice but to follow her at this time. So the next issue is coming up, and the good thing is, as I'm filming this, I just picked up issue 3, so I'm going to go and do a video on that right after this. Alright guys? Alright, so I'll see you on issue 3. Take care.